Hello there, Keller Williams. Chris Orsini here, and today I want to talk about PieSync. Now, what is PieSync? PieSync is a tool that we can use to sync all of our database from all of our contacts from one database to Command, and vice versa. So what's cool about PieSync, I'm going to jump over here to the PieSync website and move my face over. So we get PieSync completely free with our largest database, so our largest contact count sync, as well as real estate connections. So the ones that we currently have are BombBomb, Contactually, Dotloop, Follow Up Boss, Happy Grasshopper, LionDesk, Mojo Dialer, Rex, K Plus Team Platform, Brivity, Boomtown, Wise Agent, and Real Geeks. So that's incredible that they're doing all this for free. And then on top of that, if you have any syncs, any additional syncs that are not covered, we get 50% off what the general pricing is. So we have an awesome partnership here with PieSync. So now let me teach you how to use it. And I'm going to go through this process specifically with iCloud because there's a slight uniqueness to doing it with iCloud. And it throws some people off. I know it threw me off the first time I helped someone with it. So I'm going to walk through that and show you how to do it. So if we're in Command, we first want to click on our name at the top right and click Settings. And that's going to take us here to our Applications list. Now we want to scroll down a bit under the Productivity section. So it's almost halfway down. So we have our connected app, our what's connected, our social apps, and then productivity here. So I'm going to click Connect Account. And the first window you usually see is to agree to some terms. That you'll see I already agreed, so it takes me right here. This is where you're going to go after that. So if you set up a connection in PieSync.com, it's going to ask you to find connection 1 and connection 2. Now it's already assuming that KW Command is your connection 1. So now we're going to choose our connection 2, and iCloud is right here. If we wanted to find any other one, we could search for it here or scroll through. They've got tons of options. So I'm going to click iCloud, and then first thing we need to do is authorize. Now, what you're probably tempted to do, which is what I did, and I couldn't figure out why the heck it wasn't working, was I just typed in my iCloud username and then my password and then hit next, and it kept giving me an error. And I didn't know why it was doing that. So if you read this, reading the instructions, something I failed to do, it says before you start this connection, it is required that your iCloud account has two-factor authentication enabled. For more information, this can be found here. So you have to have the two-factor authentication. And then if we continue reading, if this is the case, we would require the following things to be able to connect your iCloud account. 1, your iCloud username. Okay, that's pretty easy. Now, number 2 is an app-specific passwords. Instructions on how to obtain this can be found here. So we're going to click here to figure this out, how to get our app-specific password. Now it takes us right to the Apple support page to help us with this. So let's assume we have two-factor authentication turned on. Now we would go to our Apple ID account page to generate this app-specific password. So I'm going to click on this. This will take us to pretty much appleid.apple.com. So we can just type in our Apple ID, choose Next. I have my password saved, choose Next. And now it's going to send something to my phone requesting that I allow this sign in. So this is part of the two-factor authentication. So I'm going on my phone right now, and I'm going to select Allow. And then it's going to give me a 6-digit number, and I just type it in here. And it's okay that you see this because this is a one-time use code and will never be used again. Also, you'd have to know my password to begin with. So here we are, giving away some of my information here. But now we want to scroll down to security here, and we want to click Generate Password under App-Specific Passwords. So I'm going to click Generate Password. And we can we would create the password here. So I'm so here's, sorry, this is a label, a password label. So I'm going to label this PieSync. So we're not choosing the password yet. So I'm going to create that label, and then it's going to give us a specific password. And now I am showing my cards here. You are seeing my password, but I'm going to remove this afterwards. So we would copy this and click done, and then jump back into PieSync here. So we're going to put in the username, and then paste that password in there. I did Command V, of course. You can also, right click and choose paste. So then click next, and now it authorized the sync. So now we're going to decide how we want to do this sync. We see we have iCloud here and Command over here, and we want to determine, do we want to just bring our contacts from iCloud into Command, and that would be using this arrow. Do we want to bring just the contacts from Command into iCloud, and that would be this arrow? Or do we want to sync both, so all of our contacts in iCloud are in Command and vice versa? So generally, when you're just bringing over your contacts, and generally when I'm speaking to a lot of people, they just want to get what they have in their phone into Command. So you would just use the one-way arrow from iCloud into Command. We can set some rules here, but I'm not going to get too deep into rules. It can get a little complicated, but if we're just getting our contacts out of iCloud into Command, we can just leave it as is. It is required that the contacts have an email address, so if any contact in your phone that does not have an email address will not be synced over. So this could be a good opportunity to start reaching out to your database of phone numbers that don't have email addresses and get those in there. We now can map the fields. So I'm not sure. Let's see if we can do any extra field mapping. But you'll see it does automatically pull over a lot of the proper fields. So first name, last name, middle name, so on and so forth. But we can add some custom field mapping. So say, let's see if there's any good examples in here. Job title. If job title is not up here, oh no, job title is up there, so it can't be used again. There's no good examples here, but say we had something like groups. We could always, maybe even notes. We could put notes in the notes field if that's available. There are some limitations here, so let's see. You'll see notes is grayed out, so I'm just going to ignore that for now. But that option is there. Feel free to tinker with that. Then you would click Start Syncing, and it is going to do the sync for you. Now, I'm not going to start syncing with this because this is my iCloud, my personal contacts, and this account is a demo account for the Market Center, so I don't want those contacts in there. But this is how you would do it. Once you click Start Syncing now, you can close your computer, you can shut down, you can walk away. This is all happening on the internet, so you don't have to worry about continuing to maintain a connection. It will give you a report of how many have synced over successfully and how many have failed, and mostly it's going to be because they don't have an email address. I hope this has been helpful to you guys. PieSync has been a great tool for me. Just one example of how I use it is I have it sync out to Google Contacts because I use my Gmail mostly for email, and then I have it put put contacts in a specific label in Google Contacts based on the tag that they have in Command. That can be done in the rules here. Now, I don't think I'd be able to do that with iCloud because it doesn't work the same way as Google Contacts does. But so that way, when I am emailing all of my all the agents in my office, I can just type into the BCC box 722, which is my label for all the agents in our office, and it will populate every single agent that is in that 722 label. Now, every agent that's in that 722 label is also in my Command database tagged 722. So some great options there. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any more questions about PieSync, please feel free to comment below or shoot me an email, orsinicchris@kw.com, or find me on Facebook, Chris Orsini, KW Tech Trainer, and shoot me a Facebook message. I'd be happy to help in any way I can. So again, feel free to subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on KW Connect, and follow me on Facebook, and to see all the other content that I have coming out. Thank you very much.